Welcome to this episode of Seldom Differs Terrible Features. Not sure about that. Now, today is a very special show because we have a special guest. Our guest today is Annie McGrath. Annie is a comedian, she's a writer, she's an actor, and she's also a very talented artist. And Annie hosts her own podcast about art called Secret Artists, which combines the comedy with the art, because she basically interviews comedians while they both make some art. They both draw or paint the same thing, something that's been brought in by the guest. It's a brilliant podcast. I listen to it. It's highly recommended. Annie is a regular at the Edinburgh Fringe. She's performed a number of critically acclaimed live shows as a stand-up and as part of sketch comedy double act Twins. And the other half of that double act is actually previous guest on the show, Jack Barry. So there's something for you. It was great to have Annie on the show. We had a lovely time. We had a lot of laughs. And I hope you enjoy it as much as we did. Here's the episode. Thanks.
That's a terrible feature. That's a terrible feature. This is Seldom Differs Terrible Features. So that was, of course, the theme tune to Neil Buchanan's Art Attack.
Seminal work.
Yeah. I was feeling particularly arty because we've got a very special guest on today's show, Annie McGrath.
Neil Buchanan.
Well, we tried.
Neil, I think he's still playing bass in a punk band.
Is he really?
As far as I'm aware.
I think it's glam rock.
Is it actually? Oh, no, I think you're right. Because, Annie, not only are you a comedian and an actor, I think you're an artist in your own right, surely.
Thank you. Yeah. Am I supposed to answer that?
No.
I think I am too. Yes, I do paintings and drawings, and I do sort of commissions for if people want to buy a specific artwork or print or, yeah.
And you have your podcast is...
Yes.
You interviewing people whilst painting.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's called Secret Artists.
Excellent podcast. Big fan.
Thank you.
Yeah. But listen, so I was feeling very arty, and I thought I'm going to start with the Art Attack theme tune. And then if you notice the bit where it stops and then it kind of kicks back in again, and there's like a drum solo which sounds, well, this is the drum solo that you can hear. And I thought to myself, where have I heard that drum beat before? It sounds very similar. Does it?
It's rung a bell for me.
Is it?
Yeah, go on.
Is it that famous song that was embarrassingly? I can only remember it from the Cadbury's advert with the big gorilla.
That's what I was thinking.
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins.
In the air tonight, and his drum beat sounds like this.
Oh, yeah, that is similar.
It is similar. So then I thought, well, if it is similar, if it is seamless, surely if I put Phil Collins' drum beat in with the Art Attack theme tune, would it work?
Surely.
And I want you to tell me if it did. Let's hear it.
No, you don't fool me. The hurt doesn't show, but the pain still grows. Some strangers to you and me.
I love that.
That is amazing.
And I thought, that is seamless. Now,
that's great.
I kind of flipped it. I don't even if it's worth playing now, because I don't think it works as well, but I put the Art Attack drum into the in the Air Tonight.
That's what I was hoping for, to be honest. That's what I was
I
expecting.
thought it would be that way round, to be honest. But
No, it works far better the other way. Well, it sounds like this the other way around. And that was Phil Collins there.
oh my god,
Yes, I mean, it's interesting stuff, isn't it?
My question is, did Phil Collins do the theme tune for Art Attack? No, I've actually got a question for you based on art for all of you. Now, if you were to, okay, that's the best way to ask this question? Straight up, what medium would you use to draw a self-portrait that you think would best encapture yourself? For example, mine would be crayons. You know, colourful, fun.
Oh, I see. So the medium that best reflects your
Yes, absolutely.
character.
Yeah, it's tricky. So are you talking about, because there's two questions. There's the medium I would choose to draw a self-portrait right now. And then there's another question. It has to encapsulate my vibe.
Absolutely, encapsulate your vibe. You know,
It's
Is-
very...
I know what I'd do.
Go on.
Woodcut.
Oh, yes, I see that.
Do you know what I mean? Like carved in and stamped as a self-portrait.
what do you mean? As in,
You know,
what,
like
you
those
cut
old
out a-
pictures where it's like it's called like a woodcut, right?
Yeah, I know
It's
what you mean.
kind of where they.
Oh, and then you paint and then press.
Yeah,
That's right. That's what woodcut is, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
can
think
see
so.
that.
And it's always those. They're quite liney, aren't they? Obviously, I feel like people maybe go, "Oh, maybe he was a medieval king." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Do you mean
They just saw the picture.
does wood best represent your personality, though?
Yes.
Hollow.
Annie, I'm sure you've worked with many a medium art-wise. I was listening to the your Joe Lycett interview, and you were painting. Was it acrylic you were using?
On Joe's episode, we used poster paint. Oh, actually,
poster
he
paint,
used
that was
acrylic.
it.
I used poster paint because I was
Oh, classic.
somewhere without
Nice.
Old school.
materials,
Yes.
and the only shop had poster paints. So
It sounded like you were kind of not enjoying the. I think you described it as almost sperm-like, or I
yeah,
think that was
poster
one of the
paint is
terms
quite
you
like
used.
viscous. It's
Viscous, that's-
No, I think I did say it was like semen.
Great.
Yeah, I prefer acrylics because you can mix the colours better. There's more depth.
Okay.
But if I was to do myself, I currently feel like my face looks very shiny. So maybe I'd go for like a wax sculpture.
Oh,
no,
But I wouldn't know how to do it. But I guess you just melt the wax into like a sculpture.
Oh, like literal. Oh, nice.
a sculpture.
nice.
yeah,
right,
like when you're at
great.
Pizza Express when you're little and you pour the candles onto your fingers.
Oh, so then you could almost put a wick through the middle and then burn your
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, if you
that's
wanted
nice.
to. Yeah, yeah,
That'd be nice.
yeah.
Essentially a candle is what we're talking about.
candle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
Now, Ryan, you've had a lot of time to think. I imagine it's a
I
difficult
know.
question.
The medium I draw with is mainly biro. I mean, I know that sounds like almost a joke, but I really enjoy drawing portraits of celebrities with biro. And I think it's a
they're
really
pretty good, Ryan. To be honest.
yes,
Thanks.
you've done a fantastic. It was one of the Chuckle Brothers, I believe.
I don't think that was good. Though. I think I did the.
Really?
You got to do the pair of the Chuckle Brothers, by the way. I did both.
Oh, you
of
did
them.
the both.
And I think the problem
Okay.
was I did the two heads, and the proportions were just way off. Like Barry was huge, and Paul's head was tiny.
Well, maybe one was closer than the other.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it's true. Yeah, and I think that was the case in the photo I was copied off, but it didn't look right. And I think either one of them on their own would have been okay, but putting them together didn't quite work. But I've done a good Ricky Tomlinson. I did a good Brian Blessed. I don't think I've shown you guys.
Oh, I want to
We
see
should get
them.
these
Have
on
you got them?
Twitter.
We'll get them
I
on,
can go and grab-
on Insta.
I can grab the Brian Blessed actually relatively quickly. But
You got it to hand, haven't
The
you?
Brian Blessed.
Oh yeah, I'll go and rummage around.
it's in the other room. It is actually in the. Do you want me to get it?
Yeah.
So here's my drawing of Brian Blessed.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah, really
Bring
good.
it a
Yeah,
little,
a
a
bit
little
closer.
closer,
Bring
Ryan.
it in.
It's quite terrifying, isn't it? I love the detail of the beard. It's amazing.
He
Well,
is
it's
quite
all right,
terrifying, though, to look at.
You've got the eyebrows just right. We'll put
Yeah,
this on
that's good.
Twitter
Yeah.
when
Well,
we
thank
release
you.
this episode.
I have met Brian Blessed once.
Oh.
Who I've really captured him. Yeah,
Thanks.
I met him once
in Soho.
in the farm group where we used to work. I was a runner and made him a cup of tea, and I walked in because he was in the booth about to record. And he was just as mental as you think. Like, he's a big guy. And he was just like, I've got no fucking idea what I'm doing. and I gave him the cup of tea and went, here's your tea. And he went, cheers, me old lad.
Aw.
I couldn't imagine
Course he
Blessed
said that.
drinking from just a regular teacup. I imagine it would be like a goblet or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
Or at very least, a Sports Direct mug, you know.
Oh,
Massive.
yeah. Take a bloody bath in one of them.
Of course you could. But anyway, so that's my medium of choice. Now, I don't think that encapsulates my personality, though. That's the problem.
Oh, of course. Sorry. Yes, Ryan.
So I think it's...
Ryan basically wandered off to buy himself more time and to think, what it
I'm
is.
thinking it's some kind of sculpture, but made out of objects, like
Gold.
made out of like objects from around the house, like bits of old
Yeah.
technology.
You could do a
and
sculpture
new
that's
technology.
made out of your biro drawings.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh.
Or maybe
And
it's
it
made out of
shows.
biros.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Just one
it's a
biro.
sculpture made out of.
One biro,
One biro.
two googly eyes.
That's all it needs. A bit of fluff for the hair. Fantastic. Yeah. So
Okay, well,
At auction.
fair enough. You're listening. Let's start by saying thank you so much for downloading this podcast, this episode 55.
That's right.
Episode 55, over a year's worth.
Yeah.
You are listening, of course, to the man himself, a man who you can quite literally make at home with a biro and some googly eyes and maybe a cotton wool bud. It's good old-fashioned Ryan House. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, Matthew.
And to a man who is very sure of how he wants to be represented in the art world, and that is wood.
Yeah.
Straight up wood.
Straight wood.
It's Sir John Patrick. Thanks for joining, John.
Hi, Matt. Hi, everybody. It's lovely to be here.
And of course, we have a wonderful special guest today, Annie McGrath. Thank you, one, for joining, and two, for giving a wonderful answer of Annie would be kind of waxed, made from
I'd be
wax.
waxed. It would be performance art. It would be someone waxing me.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you
Thanks
for
coming
having
on
me.
the show.
Yeah, thanks for being
And-
here.
Is that it? We done?
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you so much. You've been listening to. Thank you to the listener. Now, let me start by saying this. I know sometimes we watch TV and film, and we even bring in a VHS if we manage to record it in time.
Yeah.
Luckily, something came on the other day that I thought this would be fantastic to show the guys.
Oh, fantastic.
So I popped in the VHS player. I recorded just a segment from it, and I posted it to Ryan so he could put it into his VHS player to play on the show. I thought maybe we could play it and you could have a listen to this great film that I watched.
Yeah, let's listen now, shall we?
This whole place is so new to me. Where do I go to smoke around here?
Oh, you can do that inside. We love the smell of candy floss and popcorn.
I'm sure you do, but not tobacco smoke. Hey, buddy, you got a cigarette?
A cigarette? I have read about these items. Smell and taste horrible, apparently. Not of grape or tutti frutti or butterscotch.
Oh, God. Enough of this talk now, Aldo.
Not a single cigarette on this rack. God damn you. God damn you all to hell.
What was that called?
Wow.
That was called Planet of the Vapes.
That does sound good.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
good.
dear, oh, dear.
Honestly, it was a really refreshing watch.
Does sound good.
I feel like I've not caught something in a while, and I was really chuffed to watch that one.
Mm.
It was a real hoot.
Are you a vapor, Matt? You're a bit of a vapor, are you?
At time to time, on in and out smoking, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I think it smells
It's,
worse than cigarettes to like passively inhale.
It's a weird. Some people get like the ones that almost look like they've got a two-stroke engine on the side that produce a hell of a lot of smoke, and it's a sweet-smelling smoke.
Yeah, sickly.
Yeah.
To be honest, I do quite like the smell of some of them.
What's your flavour of
butterscotch.
choice? Butterscotch.
The butterscotch one is nice. and biscuit flavour.
I feel like, do they have like weed flavoured vapes or something?
They will have. They'll have any
That's
flavour.
weird, isn't it?
But they have cigarette smoke flavoured vapes.
Yeah.
They do, and do you know what? Yeah, they actually do. That was my first. When I first got one, I was like, well, I don't want to smoke candy.
Sure.
I want to smoke cigarettes, but I shouldn't. So get me some cigarette flavored, and they're horrible. It's just not quite right.
I have a friend who's a teacher who's caught kids vaping in the bathrooms, and he was just like stifling laughter. It's like, what are you doing? I mean,
Smoke a
But you're allowed
cigarette,
to
lads.
vape, aren't you? Inside.
I don't know. Well, you've got to be 16 though, haven't you? And they were like underage.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can vape inside. I think when it first came out, they allowed vaping inside, and then they quickly got rid of that rule because it was just so annoying for the, like you say, with the smoke smell and stuff.
Well, I've been walking down the street sort of recently, and a guy was vaping on. Yeah, would you believe it? And there was a guy on the other side of the street who was vaping away, and he blew out this cloud that was massive, and it was just wafting over towards him. I'm like, it's just COVID right there.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah,
Yeah.
It must carry COVID. That thick smoke. You'd think.
I
Wouldn't
wonder if you can get COVID flavoured.
Oh, that'll be the future, won't it? What I was going to ask Matt was the sweet flavoured vapes. Are they a bit sickly after a while? You know, like, so my thinking is, you know, if you want to stop drinking, you might go to the pub, but you'll have a Coke. But you can't be drinking 4 pints of Coke, for example. You'd just be sick, wouldn't you?
good
With all
point.
the sugar. Is that the same with like sweet vapes? Do you just go like, well, this is nice for one, but I don't want candy floss all night long.
Well, I think because you're not eating it, it's slightly different. It's just the taste, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
If you just if you licked a lolly throughout a night,
Yeah.
a few licks at a time,
Maybe. Yeah. Or if I
you
just
wouldn't be like, oh, I'm sick of lollipops.
held the Coca-Cola in my mouth and then released it.
Out of your nose.
Yeah. I see what you mean, is in you don't swallow it, just kind of swill it and then spit it back out.
Yeah, but that doesn't
Like
seem like a
wine
healthy way
tasting,
to.
but with
Oh yes, that
Yeah.
actually makes sense. Yeah,
Wine tasting, but
I sometimes swill Coke from my mouth and then just go, "Oh, this is just the worst thing possible for my teeth." Surely,
Yeah, that's
Can't
why
be
you've got to
much
do it
worse.
with a straw and then it doesn't hit the teeth.
is that right?
That is a hot tip, actually.
Okay, so take it in with a straw, then swill around the mouth, and then swallow.
Yeah, then gargle with it.
Yeah.
And then
Ideally, if you get a long enough straw, you can go right into the tract system and straight into the gut.
Fair enough.
It's
it's a
not
long
enjoyable.
straw.
It's not an enjoyable night at the pub. Annie, what's your drink of choice when you're at a pub?
Oh, good question.
When you go back,
When I
what
get
do you
back
think
in
you'll
there.
order first, yeah.
I do love a prosecco.
Oh,
Straight up,
nice.
Straight up
pint
prosecco.
of
Half a pint of prosecco. No, I like prosecco, or if I'm on spirits, I like a gin and tonic.
Oh yeah, I like the big goblets. You know,
Yeah,
with lots of
yeah,
ice
yeah.
and
And
fruits
lime.
and
Yeah, that's nice. I don't like beer, but I do like cider. So if I was having a pint, it wouldn't be beer. It would be an Aspel's, for example.
See, Aspel is something that I can't have, I think, a session on because he
No,
gets
it's quite
sick of it
sweet.
after
Yeah.
well, that's the sickly thing again, isn't it? Yeah, yeah,
So you just hold the Aspel in your mouth.
yeah. Exactly. Swill it round, spit it back out again.
I used to just love anything sweet, like a Malibu and Coke or a Southern Comfort and lemonade.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
nice.
like it's that transition from being a child into an adult, isn't it? Where you go, well, I want to
Yeah.
drink booze, but I want to drink pop as well. Actually, what I actually want to drink is pop.
Yeah.
but
Exactly.
I'd want it to be alcoholic, so that's where the
What-
Alka-Pops came in.
What's your all of you? What do you drink? Are you beer lads?
WKD Blue.
Lager, cider. Probably a pint of lager.
Lager,
to be fair.
really, yeah.
I'll go for a
Yeah.
pint. Of,
To be
big,
fair.
big fat pint of lager, probably.
It's good stuff, isn't it? Great content.
I might have a wine occasionally.
yeah,
That's what I do. Just get up on Zoom, talk to each other about when the pubs reopen. What are we going to do?
And we're all luckily fulfilling our stereotypes. Of,
I hope we can get a seat.
Yeah. Oh, no. I'll be outside eating pork scratchings.
You'll be outside vaping away.
Yes, butterscotch and candy floss. Now, listen, Annie, you've probably heard the rumours about this feature wheel that we have in the studio. It's been doing the rounds.
You might have heard the rumours, but they are all true. That's sort of what you've got to understand.
Yes. So what happens is on this show, Annie, we get the wheel out, the feature wheel. We spin the feature wheel, and that will tell us what feature we will be doing today.
Oh, how exciting.
Now, Ryan, I think it's time that you reveal the wheel.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just wheel it in.
Oh,
Wow.
And
okay.
take off the cloth. What do you think?
Well, yeah, bigger than.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't think it'd
Yeah.
be square.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
Amazing.
I mean, to be fair to Annie, Ryan, it's not always square, is
No,
it?
it's true. Usually it's circular, but I thought as you were coming
Right.
on the show, as an artist who's used to working with a canvas, a square canvas, I imagine, I thought I would make the feature wheel our canvas for today and make it square.
Is it pasta,
love
Ryan?
it.
Is that pasta you've created?
yes.
Is that collage?
Yes, it's a sort of
Pasta face.
collage with some papier-mâché,
Oh, wow.
papier-mâché half balloons painted here,
Oh,
greens and
lovely.
yellows and reds, and that's 1 part PVA glue, 2 parts water in that papier-mâché. I have used papier-mâché before, but this is the first time I've used it on a square wheel.
Right. Okay.
Congratulations. It's
Do you like it?
Yeah, well,
work.
I thought you were struggling earlier trying to think of how you would create yourself from art, right? And I think you've just about achieved it. I don't think that is you, is it? Is who is that? I can't quite work out. Is that the guy from The Chase?
Yes, it's the
Beast.
The Beast. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
my hero. You know.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. It's very
So if
clever.
you-
You've got his
Yeah.
furrowed brow, just nice.
So if you that's the pasta. You see, the pasta makes the brow, and then I've used the half balloon papier-mâchés for the cheeks, of course. And I wasn't
Nice.
sure you'd be able to see because it's quite close to the camera, but yeah, if you take a step back, you can see that it is actually a collage of the Beast from The Chase.
Brilliant. Well, I say it every time, Ryan, and people say, well, maybe the first wheel was square.
Must have been at one point.
But the fear always is with me, Ryan, is does the wheel still work?
Yeah, well, give it a go. I mean, it's probably the riskiest wheel ever with it just having 4 sides and no curves. But let's try it. Oh yeah, there you go. Still absolutely fine.
That's fine.
She's going. A
Fantastic.
bit of penne flying off there.
Yeah.
How long do they live for?
Oh,
Right.
How
very
long do they
interesting.
live for?
A classic. This is a classic feature, Annie. And I think the title may describe the feature quite well. How long do they live for?
You know what describes it better though?
Yeah, I'll tell you what describes it better is the jingle.
Of course.
This should clear it up, Annie.
Okay.
Guilty as a question, and we all want to know: is it 9? Is it 18? Is it 34? There's only one answer, and we can't ignore. Come on, everybody, how long does it live for? Give me the answer. Mongoose, zebra, hamster. They'll give you the animal, but nothing else more. Come on, everybody, how long does it live for?
So I'm basically going to name an animal. And I'll give you a few facts about that animal. You know, I'm not a monster. I'll try and simplify it as much as I can. All you have to do is have a guess at how long this animal lives for, on average, in the wild.
Okay.
In the wild versus captivity, I suppose, is the big
Exactly, yeah.
Point to
because
remember that.
the lifespan is often increased when in captivity. Now, today's animal, we've had some quite ridiculous animals in the past, and I thought I want to give Annie.
I think that's a bit rude, isn't it, to the animals? To call them ridiculous.
If I said you were ridiculously good looking, Ryan,
Oh,
would you take that as a compliment?
Well,
I suppose I would. Yeah, I
hold
know
on
you-
a second there, Matt. You've added good looking onto the end of ridiculous.
Yeah,
there.
you didn't say good looking about the
You've
animal.
changed that. You didn't say ridiculously good looking animals. Did
You're
you?
right. You're right. We've had some unique animals in the past, and this week I thought it's Annie's first time of playing, so I'll keep it straight down the middle. And I want to know this
Cat.
week. Is there cat?
Yeah.
I can't do it. I don't even want to know. A giraffe, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, classic.
Ooh.
I want to know how long a giraffe lives for. And while you're thinking, I'm just going to give you a little bit of information on giraffes
Or
in
can I
case-
say something I know about them?
Yes, of course.
They've got the highest blood pressure of all animals.
Oh, that's
Mammals.
interesting.
I thought you were going to say they've got the highest head of all mammals.
They've got
Yeah.
really long necks. You heard it here first.
No, you're absolutely right, Annie. They have a terrible blood pressure.
Well, hi.
High blood pressure, yeah. Terrible in comparison to a human.
Well, if you were a human with that blood pressure, it would be terrible.
Well, it's
Yeah.
actually it's twice as high as humans.
But it's
Wow.
not bad for them in
But-
the sense, as in, like, it's high, but that's just standard
No.
for a giraffe. You see
Yeah,
them
because
Do
they
they
need
need-
it to go up, up to the head.
Oh, is that it? To pump the
Yeah.
blood up? That makes sense, yeah.
That's it. See, for a long time, we thought that giraffes had quite large hearts, quite big hearts.
Ah,
'Cause
that's
You
nice.
think, well, how do they
Because they're
get
lovely, aren't they?
Very
the blood
generous,
up?
yeah.
Very generous, very generous. They're
Very
all
thoughtful.
always putting the neck on the line.
Hey.
But it's actually just the strength of the heart. They're not that big, but they're powerful.
So for a long time, people thought they had big hearts. This is pre cutting one open, I suppose, and having a look.
Having a
Because
gander,
surely
yeah.
quite soon after the first giraffe died near a man, that man went, well, I want to see inside this thing.
Well,
No?
Would that be your first?
Yeah,
If I
right.
was-
Says a lot.
If I was an
If
early
anything
man.
dies near you, well, let's cut it up.
Yeah.
See what's-
Don't get a dog, Ryan.
I want to see how big the heart is. I want to see how much this dog loves me, really.
I want to see how big the heart is. How much you love me, really. They, so the tallest mammals on Earth, which I suppose, if I was to have a guess, I mean,
What's
what's
up
taller
there?
than a giraffe? I mean, nothing.
Elephants are quite tall, aren't they?
Elephants
True.
are tall.
But you've
Elephants are
seen
tall.
them next to a giraffe often, haven't you? That's the thing. And
Often, yeah.
like, whenever I see a giraffe, he's always
Almost
knocking
every
about
other
with an
day
elephant.
with lockdown.
I think it's true. I think every
Can't
time you
move
see a
for
giraffe, you've got an elephant not far behind.
True. They do knock about in the same ends.
If I'm
don't
drawing
they?
a picture of the Serengeti, made that, is it right? Is it Serengeti?
Yeah, go for it. Why not?
Then, first sketch is the elephant, then it's the giraffe. And the giraffe is towering in my sketch, in my Barrow sketch. But I mean,
And you're
be
quite
fair.
a sort of naturalistic
exactly.
artist, aren't you?
I,
But you did admit that you've got perspective slightly off in the past.
it's
Yeah.
true.
So maybe
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
that elephant was
Also-
far away.
They might have been crouching.
It's a good point. Or the giraffe might have been on a ladder or on stilts or something of that nature.
Ooh.
In fairness.
Often pictured doing daft stuff like that, aren't they, giraffes?
Yeah.
Why is that, Annie?
Daft stuff like what?
Well, like Ryan just said, they pictures of like giraffes on ladders and like on
Yeah.
tricycles and
And
stuff.
you're
like
asking me why that is.
Why is that?
Sorry, yeah, I forgot that I was responsible for all giraffe art that exists. I guess they're quite funny because they're surreal looking because of the long neck. So
Yeah, they can have them waving about.
It's
Can't
the
they?
gangliness,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's like a
and we
gangly
love
human.
sort
in that.
of humanizing animals, don't we?
Yeah.
Don't we,
Well, the
guys?
We do, yeah.
Yeah,
I'd love
no,
to
absolutely.
do it, yeah.
There's books on it, isn't there? The what's it called?
Anthropomorphizing.
And yeah, I knew there was a better word for it. Anthropomorphizing. Anthropomorphizing.
It's a word to that effect, isn't it?
Dinosaurs, the puppet show Dinosaurs, the harrowingly dark show. Do you remember Dinosaurs?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, what's funny
Jim
is
Henson.
giraffes, although they have long necks, the necks are too short. So their legs are about 6 foot apiece in height, but they can't bend down properly. What is it here? So as a result, they have to awkwardly spread its front legs
Oh yeah.
to kneel to the ground for a drink of water. So they look silly.
They do
lot of
look
the time.
silly,
They don't have vocal cords.
don't they?
Apparently, they're almost completely mute. Don't make much noise.
Matt was trying to read out loads of facts about giraffes, and we've been
Yeah,
like,
they-
no. We'll tell you. We'll tell you a few things about
we've
giraffes,
got-
actually.
Yeah.
No, keep them coming. I just thought it
They're
was
sort of
amusing.
yellow and brown, like little hexagonal patches.
And what about them? Sorry, there is a fact about this.
Oh, is there?
Yeah,
Do they tessellate? They're patterned? No.
That'd be good.
That
They
would-
must do, in a way.
they're as unique as human fingerprints.
Oh, lovely.
So never the two the same.
So if a giraffe was to burgle my house, they'd be
Here we
easy to
go.
track down.
Because It's a giraffe with a 20-inch tail.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
Oh, I did see a giraffe walking into that house and then leaving with loads of expensive computer
Let
equipment.
me check its prints. But luckily for giraffes, they don't have to bend down that often and drink because they get a lot of their moisture through the leaves and that. So they only actually drink about, what was it, 2 times a day?
Yeah, about that.
Can they not lean their neck down as well to drink the water rather than having to like bend down?
You'd
That's
think
what
so,
I'd do
wouldn't you?
if I was a giraffe.
I would, if I was a giraffe, I'd stand near a waterfall
Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
and just like
Yeah,
that.
that's a good idea. They've got long
spend-
tongues, haven't they?
Well, very long tongues, yeah.
And
Yeah.
am I right in thinking their tongues are blue?
I thought
that
they were
right,
like
Annie?
blue black or something.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like
Huh?
a bruise, the colour bruised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder.
Moving swiftly on. They spend most of their life standing up and they sleep stood up.
Mad.
And they only
mad.
need to sleep, they sleep very little in a day. They'll get they nap basically stood up. They only
Okay.
need like half an hour for the whole day
Wow.
and they're done.
It's-
Get
says-
so much done.
The colour of the tongue is best described as black, blue, or purple. So I think
bruisey
blue
sort of
black
colour.
was a good
Are you
description.
looking up giraffes online during a game of how long do they live for, Annie?
Oh, God.
Sorry.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
Oh,
Annie,
no.
Annie.
Have
I
you
didn't
seen?
Annie,
Google
Annie.
Have you
that.
seen?
Unfortunately, I forgot what the premise was.
So
No,
wrapped
it's
up
just
in a
there's
world.
been controversy before. That's the only
Oh,
thing.
really?
So we
Oh, I
don't
wouldn't
want
do
to.
that.
No.
I'm a
trust
very
you.
Actually,
honest
it's
player.
even less. Giraffes only need 5 to 30 minutes of sleep in a 24-hour period.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just taking little naps.
I mean, who needs aliens? Do you know what I mean? When you've got animals.
Giraffes.
Yeah.
So, they're tall, they sleep little and often. Well, no, they just sleep very little. And they don't like bending down that much because they can't really get the neck fully to the ground.
God,
But the big
it'd be
question
so
is-
annoying to be a giraffe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it would have you could reach the shelves, you know.
Yeah, and at gigs they'd be able to see the stage.
Gigs is
Oh,
ideal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Clearly.
that'd be nice. Yeah, you
Because as a short person, I'm always armpit height.
Yeah, I'm the
So,
same. I'm just like looking at someone's back the whole time and thinking,
Yeah.
is it good? Is it worth being here? I'm
you'd have
enjoying
to, like,
myself.
Get a piggyback or go on the shoulders of a giraffe.
I remember going to a is it Dirty Pretty Things? Is that the Carl Barat?
Yeah.
Dirty Pretty Things, the band. I went to go and see them at the Lead Mill in Sheffield, and I went with a friend of mine who's Big Matt, 6'8",
Right.
very tall man,
Whoa.
and we're in the crowd. It was pretty rammed, and it's always good for him because he can basically see over everyone because he's usually the tallest in the room. But not on this night. There was a man slightly bigger than him that stood right in front of him.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I was like, that is unlucky.
It's nice to get a taste of your own medicine every now and again,
Yeah.
isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
true.
Just to make him
Yeah.
appreciate what the people behind him, how they feel.
Well, what he doesn't know is actually me and Ryan. Ryan was on my shoulders in a big raincoat, and we just wanted to prove a point to him.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, guys, how long does a giraffe live for? I will start with our very special guest today, Annie. I just want one number.
It's
How
hard to be
long?
the starter, isn't it?
I'm going to
Started
write
to-
mine down so
Yeah, me
you
too.
don't
So I'm
think I've
not
been
influenced.
influenced.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I'll tell you what, Annie, I'll let you write it down. And I'll...
Well, no, she's going first, and that's.
Sorry, Annie. No, you are going first. You definitely
Yeah, I'll
go
write it
first
down
now.
if I want to write it down, okay? As I say it to you. I'm thinking that because they don't sleep very much, I know for humans it's very important to sleep a lot, and having high blood pressure is quite dangerous in humans. I know that humans aren't giraffes, but I'm thinking they're not going to be the healthiest of creatures.
I eat a lot of greens. They eat a
And
lot
if
of
they're
greens.
struggling to get to the water's also one of, the key
Yeah.
things.
Key elements, yeah.
How long do dogs live for?
Can't
Well, that's
answer
depends on the
that. I
dog.
don't think.
That's a different
Can't say.
show. It's a different show altogether, Annie,
I don't know that much about
How long,
animals.
how long do dogs live for? And then what thought process is going to go on there to go, well,
Add
it's
5
maybe-
years for the neck. and,
My goldfish lived for like 7 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
are you sure that was the same goldfish and your parents weren't just
Oh my god.
replacing?
It could have been.
It was
yeah.
a carrot for the
Have I
last.
shattered your childhood?
Yeah. It was a
But don't
dog.
forget,
Oh.
Annie, that started as a dog.
Don't forget what?
Don't forget that goldfish was not in the wild; that was in captivity. In
Oh, that's
good
in
point.
your
Yeah.
home, you know. So
Okay, so I was going to choose an arbitrary number, which was 15, but now that you've said they're in the wild, I'm thinking they're in Africa and there's lots of, lions
opportunities.
and elephants and dangerous things which might chase them.
Hippos.
Hippos. I'm going to go for 12 years old.
12 years. I lived for 12 years. Okay. Ryan, good old fashioned Ryan. How long does a giraffe live for, pal?
I've put 35 years. I think I'm way off.
35
I think
years?
I'm way off.
35 years. And then John, how long?
I said 38.
38.
Ooh.
Oof. Well, I can reveal that one of you is closer than the other. I can reveal that a giraffe outside of captivity can live up to 26 years old.
Oh,
So I believe Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan.
Oh, no, hold on.
Wait.
no, I think I do.
Wait.
Yeah.
Annie, what did you say?
Well, I changed from 15 to 12,
Well,
unfortunately.
you went 12, didn't you? So yeah, I think Ryan, you take the point on this occasion.
26.
26. So,
good on them.
fantastic.
Good on him.
Oh, I'm so pleased. I'm usually terrible at guessing how long animals live for. I think maybe the fact that it was a classic, that it wasn't an obscure creature.
Yeah.
I think obscure was the
Also,
word you were
you
looking
guys
for.
play this every week. This is my first time playing How Long Do Animals Live For?
It's true,
Exactly.
and it's amazing how far off I often am, given that we play it so often.
And also, I guess you could spend your time in between sort of researching.
It's true, and I don't like to do that. I think that's what John does. I think John spends. I know you just lost, but I do believe you spend a lot of time looking up animal ages.
That is
Scrolling through the encyclopedia.
just every animal.
And I feel like you've skipped
Just
over
figure out
giraffe
when
because you've
every
thought,
animal
well, he's never going to bring giraffe
Well,
up. It's so obvious.
Ryan,
but he's
you're
done it.
right. John, I think on average probably takes this more than you do. So I say congratulations on your point.
Thank you.
Quick question to Annie before I continue. At school, did people sing Annie, you okay? Annie, you okay, Annie?
Yeah, they
Oh,
did.
good.
And beyond school.
Right. Yeah.
Annie, you okay? Annie, get your gun.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
Take a load off Annie.
Okay.
Annie, chameleon.
I never had that, actually.
No, that's
I
a new
went to
one.
school with a guy called Eddie who got Eddie, are you okay? So,
Wow.
yeah.
I went to school with a guy called Paul Cousins. And
me too.
if you remember, yeah, of course, Ryan, you went to the same school as
I know the tune. Go on.
Yes, it was it a corner shop? Was that the name of the band?
Yeah, I think so. Brimful of Asher, was it?
Brimful of Asher, and I used to get everybody needs Paul Cousins for a pillow. Everybody needs Paul Cousins, which I thought was actually quite creative for the
It was.
Yeah.
for the time.
It was quite a cute one as well because he's a cuddly guy. I'd love him as a pillow, and he was actually thinking about it.
He did look. If I was going to lay on anyone at school, if I got trapped in school one night and I had to bed down for the night, I'd say, Paul, you lay that way, and I will use you as a pillow.
Do you remember the Shannon adverts?
Yes.
Yeah, I had a friend called Shannon, and I'd call her Shannon.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. I love. Oh God, who else have we got? What other mates do we have? Here's what Annie. My name is Matthew Skillington.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you.
My surname is Skillington. Would you? What would you do with that word if you were to shorten it?
Skills.
Yeah,
Skills.
makes
Okay.
sense.
That's good.
Now,
Is that what you had at school?
Not at school, but like
Made it up himself, didn't you? $sign S and a Z on the end.
that's right, yeah.
Okay.
And when you played football, if you played football, did people say he's got skills?
They wouldn't say that.
I once had a throw in and I rolled the ball in like a bowling ball. And I was laughed at. I said, no, I didn't get called Skills. And also, I didn't think of the name myself. People called me Skills. I interpreted it and merely changed the S for a $sign and the S at the end for a Z. And I thought that was it.
Skills. Yeah, that's cool.
It is cool.
Anyway.
In
So
fact,
you
Ryan.
two were at school together?
me and
Or all
Matt
three
were,
of you were
yeah.
at school together?
No,
Yeah.
me and Matt were
I
at school.
wasn't
and then
at school.
we met.
I went to uni with Matt. I should say I do occasionally work with Matt. We work at a prop house together sometimes, and
cool.
on work that we're doing in progress, you need to leave your name so people know. And Matt puts his name in this professional setting as Skills with a $sign KILLZ.
Because they started calling me Skills. I never started.
That's fair. That's fair to be.
But you
honest.
definitely encourage it.
Right, Ryan. After this podcast, I want to ring you directly and we need to talk.
No, because how is it not encouraging it when you're spelling your name with a $sign and a Z on the end?
I'm making it easier for them.
Do you ever have Matt Skellington? Like
Oh.
You
Jack,
what, mate?
Jack
what, mate?
Skellington.
Oh, no,
Be
no,
careful.
no, don't
Be
do that.
careful.
What, mate?
Oh, right.
You
This
what,
is a
mate?
point of contention.
So there was, there was a primary school. Some kids, one particular kid used to call me Skellington, and what is it?
You
he used
didn't
to
like
say?
it?
No, I used to chase
Wasn't it
him. I didn't like
Bonesy?
it. Yeah, you go, ooh, Bonesy, or something like that. And, yeah, Skellington.
I like that. I like
Had
when it's
that.
like one removed from the name.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Skellington, Skellington, Bones.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at the time. But and
Or
actually,
just Jack.
see, that'd be fine. No, but that was Jack Skelton, though, wasn't it?
No,
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 it's
Jack
called...
Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah, it was Skellington. Yeah,
Yeah, of course it was Skeleton. It's not called Skeleton.
It was Jack Skelton. I see this name, or Matt Skelton, on the credits.
that's you.
No, Matt Skellington. Yeah, that's
I am Matt Skellington. Oh my god! I
is
thought I
Matt
was Skills.
Skellington?
I thought I was Skills. I'm so far.
It's gone for the brand. It's gone Madonna.
Some syndrome. I don't know what it is. Ryan, well done on the point for how long they live for.
Thanks.
It's not your strongest feature, but you've done
No.
bloody well.
Look,
But-
time's getting on. Shall we
Yeah,
spin the
let's-
wheel?
let's
Or
spin the
shall we
wheel.
spin the
Please.
square wheel?
Spin the square.
Genuine or Johnuine.
Ooh,
sure,
another
guys, it's come
absolute bona fide classic feature.
El Clasico.
Yeah. These have
Yeah.
been there. Both these features up to now have been here since day one, since day dot, since episode one. You know, because
Yeah.
we don't know what's going to come up, Annie. That's the thing.
Oh, really?
You know, we spin the wheel, and
Yeah.
it's
I
completely
couldn't tell
random.
if it was
of
just
course,
very good acting, or I also
No,
didn't
no,
hear
no.
what came up.
It was
it's
genuine
gen-
or Johnuine. Sorry,
Exactly.
John. Go on. It's your feature.
Well, yeah, I mean, once again, the jingle will hopefully explain exactly what we're going to do.
Fingers crossed.
We're playing Genuine or Johnuine. Is it matter of fact or is it actual crap? Genuine or Johnuine. He's got a fact addiction or is it all fiction? Genuine or Johnuine. His lies are true, but is he lying to you? Genuine or Johnuine. He lies, he lies, he lies, he lies, he lies.
Absolute banger.
Glad that's cleared up.
Yeah, if you haven't got that yet, what's going to happen is I'm going to give you 3 facts, 2 of which are genuine, 1 of which is Johnuine, and you need to sniff out that fact.
It's a kind of 2 truths, 1 lie, and where
Exactly.
and the thing that I always love about this feature is the fact that I get to work with you, Matthew. We're working as a team on this one, Annie, and today I get to work with you too, and that's just my favourite thing.
Aw.
Oh, that's so sweet, Ryan. That's so sweet. If I had a giant vape and it was candy floss flavored and it was butternut squash flavored, butterscotch flavored
Butternut squash.
and sweet,
Most
sweet.
middle class vape.
I would blow out a silhouette of you from smoke,
Oh,
and that is how sweet you are, Ryan.
oh my goodness, that's lovely. That's so lovely. And do you know what, Matthew? What you are to me? Do you know? Have you ever heard of a Knickerbocker Glory?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's got ice cream. It's got cream. It's got syrup. It's got strawberry. It's got
We
cherries
do this
on top.
every time. I just want to get on with it.
It's just the sweetest thing you can
You finish
taste.
it, Ryan. You finish it.
Yeah. and that's what you are to me, Matthew.
You're very sweet, Ryan.
Thank
really
you
are.
so much. John, please, just before you move on, I just want to say something very, very quickly. Annie, you know, when you make a cocktail and you have a jar and it has cherries in it and it's maraschino cherries, and you get the sweet syrup.
Yeah.
That's how sweet you are to the
Oh, thank you.
And Does,
sorry,
Annie?
yes. You guys are the apples of my fruit bowl.
Oh,
That's nice.
yeah.
Stop it.
To stop. The sweetest of all
I won't
fruits.
stop.
So sorry, John.
That's fine. It's fine.
Please go ahead.
Okay, so here we go. Here's the 3 facts. Remember, all of them are 100% true. All right.
All of them. Isn't one
No,
not?
he's trying to fool you, Annie. He's already trying to fool
right.
you. Don't listen to him. He's
Listen to the
viperous.
jingle.
He's viperous during this game.
Okay.
All right, here, fact number 1. George Lucas had planned to be a racing driver, but he had a serious car accident when he was age 18 and decided not to do it.
Oh, they're quite a lot darker than I was expecting them to be.
Yeah,
They
that's
are quite dark,
isn't
this
it?
week, actually.
It
Yeah.
might not be true. It might not be true.
Yeah.
They're quite
true.
dark facts.
Oh.
95% of donkeys die from heart attacks.
Oh.
Fucking hell.
I thought it was going to be like once at school. Friends stole my pencil case.
And the third one, I didn't think about these.
Yeah, they're not
Do you
usually
know-
this grim. Go on.
Yeah, well, gaslighting, the
Yeah.
act of gaslighting. That word comes from a movie from 1944 called Gaslight, where a man uses gaslights to gaslight his partner,
As in
to make her think she's gone mad.
Right. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I
Keeps
know.
dimming them up and down.
Annie,
you,
let's
you,
go.
you know something, Annie.
I
This
know.
is interesting.
Number 3 is from a film, which is actually from a play originally.
Ooh,
okay.
interesting.
And the man tries to persuade the wife that she's going mad. So every time he leaves the house, he's like hunting for treasure in the attic or something. So he goes upstairs, and because of the gas lighting system, when he turns the light on in the upstairs room, the lights go down in her room. And he will like give her a really beautiful necklace, and then he'll hide it, and he's like, "Where's that beautiful necklace I got you?" And she's like, "I put it there." And then he basically slowly convinces her that she's going mad. And that's where the term gaslighting is from. She's like, when you leave the house, the lights go down. And he's like, "I think you need to see a doctor." And it's really freaky. And then at the end, eventually it all ends well, and the police find him, and I think they're living in some like person who was murdered house or something. And there's all this buried treasure. And so that I know.
Yeah.
It's
So
true.
either Annie is an agent who is working for John undercover, which could be true. She could have just made that all up, or John could have fed her that information. But I don't want to believe that. I want to trust her because I want to.
It's a really good play. I saw it with Rosamund Pike
You
playing
wouldn't
the
say
lead.
that.
Don't,
You would say
don't
that. Yeah.
go too over.
So,
I knew you'd be
fit.
good at this, Annie. And and they made it into a film after the play.
I think the play is from sort of Victorian times. I've got a copy of it.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry, John. Let me go and check.
She's gone to get the play. This is fantastic. John is hating this.
Oh no! Actually got it.
There we go.
Great.
I can see it.
Actually got it there.
Brilliant.
It's a play by Patrick
Oh,
Hamilton.
Annie, we can have you back every week if we play this game.
Now, have you got any donkeys, alive or dead, in your
Funny you should
on
say
your
that.
bookshelf?
Have you owned donkeys at all during your time? Okay, so that's good. So that narrows it down now to George Lucas and donkeys.
Would you
No.
like a little bit more information?
Go on,
Yeah.
then. Yeah, why not? First.
Well, donkeys, right?
This information from you is pointless. Are you going to give us information on both things now, or
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Right. So.
Sorry, quickly. First published in 1939.
Oh, okay. Oh, so the film was quite soon after then.
Yeah.
What
I
year
don't
was
think
the
that was.
film?
The film was 1944, I think. Okay, so basically through breeding donkeys to make them strong, they've inadvertently kind of got a congenital heart issue, which means that most of them die from heart attacks.
Is that why they were like, is that a heart attack?
They,
makes a
they
lot of
usually
sense.
live. They live to about. I'm not going to say how long they live.
You'd
No,
say
Might
that
come up,
for
yeah.
for another
It's good,
feature.
good info to have, isn't it?
And what was the first one?
it
The
was
car.
George Lucas had plans to be a racing driver.
Right.
It was like his family were really dead against it. And he was like, no, I'm going to be professional, proper, hardcore racing driver. And he was obsessed with all sorts of cars. And eventually he crashed his souped-up car and he flipped out of it. He came out of the window as the car span and it hit a tree. And he was in hospital for months. And it was like, do you know
when he came
what?
up with the idea for Star
Oh,
Wars.
okay. Or that one with the duck. It didn't do one with the
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck, yeah. I think that stinks. I think the George Lucas one stinks. And if I'm honest, I think I've heard that donkeys die of heart attacks now. I might be wrong. And that would be very
You don't want to make
embarrassing.
an ass of yourself.
Thank you. No, very good.
The funny thing with the asses, what is it? A mule is the baby or the foal of a donkey and an ass.
What's
John,
that?
help me out here.
No.
You get, I think a mule. Is it a mule or an ass that can't reproduce?
Oh,
you
it's one of them, innit?
You can make
Yeah.
one, but they can't reproduce. If you get a donkey and an ass, because I think they're two separate things.
There's a horse involved there somewhere in there.
Or is it a donkey and a horse? And
Isn't-
the
does
donkey and a horse makes an ass, but they
Out of
can't
me.
Of
breed.
itself.
Yeah, not as much as I've just made an ass of myself trying to explain it. Okay, so I'm thinking, Annie, are you getting any smells of bullshit wafting your way? Or what are you
Well,
thinking?
when John was supposedly reading out more donkey-based facts, he did look like he was reading it off his computer, but then it might be a double bluff and he might have scripted some stuff
Well,
and had it
I
on a Word document.
True. I also saw him reading off the computer for the George Lucas one as well,
Okay.
so it doesn't really help
Okay.
that.
There was a
but-
bit, I don't feel, if the first one was true, I think he might have been a bit more sensitive in how he described him, like spinning out of a window. It sounded a bit like caricature-y by the end.
That's true.
But then I don't know John
He was
very well.
quite sensitive
No,
when
that's
he was
true.
talking about the dead
Neither do I.
donkeys, to be honest. Wasn't he? He was quite
Over
pleasant.
the
and
moon.
Not,
Yeah.
95% of donkeys
That's-
having
I mean-
that's a lot.
in fairness, that's a mad statistic, but they've got to die of something. They could die old of an heart attack, you know what I mean?
But donkeys are just, they're a bit shit, aren't they? In a
Yeah, they're
sense.
crap. They're crap.
As in, I can imagine that's, just die of heart attacks, you know. I actually believe that.
I buy it.
95%,
It might
yeah.
be wrong, and I might have egg on my face, but
I can't see George Lucas driving bloody racing cars.
me neither.
Me neither.
Right, let's take a vote. I'm going to say George Lucas, fact, Johnuine.
Yeah,
Annie.
me too. Oh, sorry, go on.
Well, let's go with that.
And I'll also agree, actually, on this occasion, quite
We're all
strongly.
gonna
So
agree.
if we're wrong, we're at least wrong together, and what a great team.
It's definitely
regardless.
1 or 2. We know that because
Yeah.
No, you've done a great job
I've got
narrowing
the
that
play.
down, to be fair. That's unlucky for John that we have a well-read, intelligent person for once on the podcast. John, we think the George Lucas fact is Johnuine.
The genuine fact is
oh, it's donkeys.
that 95% of donkeys die from heart attacks.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
No.
I
Oh,
thought
God,
it was too high.
I feel
Damn.
sick. I feel sick.
Have we come across as asses like I predicted?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I was so sure that we
I
got
think
that
it was
in
a
the
good
bag.
double bluff how you were reading
Yeah.
it off the screen.
Fantastic.
I
done
write them
job.
all out.
Yeah, did you have a Word document?
Oh, no.
That's what I thought. Damn.
Well, we know
John.
that now, at least for next time.
No, you've had his pants down, John, is what you've done.
Oh, our pants are so far down. I think where were our pants before this? I think our pants were way up, weren't they?
I think
they
they're
were.
all-
And John's by his knees at this point, and I think his
Well-
are back up and ours are out in it. And he's beyond, you know.
Yeah, George Lucas. Crazy. He really wanted to. And he was wearing like a racing harness because it was a car like that. And as the car, basically another car came out and I think it T-boned him and it flipped and the pin from the racing harness just came off and he just flew out the window, landed on the thing. He was like basically coughing up blood. He recovered quite quickly, but he just saw the car and was like, lots of people die in racing accidents, so maybe I shouldn't do this. But yeah, I had
Put
no
me
idea
off.
this was a thing.
This is probably pre or just before Senna and his like added safety to the sport.
It's amazing to think, isn't it, that if he had have died in that accident, then Star Wars and so much pop culture that came with that would have just probably not existed.
Well, it had been something else, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I can't believe you have a copy of Gaslight.
Yeah, sorry, you look really
Actually-
upset when I just
but-
remembered I had it on my shelf.
Even with that, though, you still nailed it, John, in fairness. You still took
Yeah.
the crown.
No,
this
you've
week,
done us.
so-
You've absolutely done us.
Yeah.
Well done, John.
Yeah,
You've done us
congrats.
this week. I thought we had that actually in the bag. I thought we'd absolutely done him, but we've not. Oh, well. Ryan, before that square wheel turns into a circular wheel, shall we spin it maybe one more time?
Yes, if that's all right with you, Annie. Do you have time for another spin of the wheel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've probably got maybe like 10 more minutes. Is that,
Oh, shit, really? Okay.
is that only because I've got to do a self-tape? But
We've got another 2 hours of this. No, we've not.
just spin it really quickly.
Okay, we could try and do this quickly, and if you have to leave halfway through, then so be it.
That would be hilarious.
How much did it go for?
How much did it go for?
Another one of these.
Another one of these. It's rare that you get two how much in one episode, because we have sometimes how much did it go for, how much did they sue for, how long do they live for, how long did they live for, and it's rare to get to in one episode, isn't it? But it's happened today. And now the great thing about this feature, because Annie's time is limited, is the jingle is incredibly long. Let's have a listen.
Ruby slippers from the Wizard of Oz. How much did they go for at auction? Muhammad Ali's boxing gloves. How much did they go for at auction? At auction. Auction. At auction. Auction. At auction. Auction. At auction. At auction. Mr. Blobby's body and head. How much did it go for at auction? Auction. Jeremy Beadle's false beard and specs. How much did they go for at auction?
Hi, and welcome to the very best the Beatles about.
Auction. At auction. At auction.
Hi, and welcome to the very
Oh,
best
at
the Beatles about.
Or in the regular sale.
How much did it go for? So this is basically film, television memorabilia, and it's how much did it sell for at auction. So at auction, and that's important. Now, what I wanted to get for this, I couldn't find, because I knew we had Annie coming on, and I thought maybe how much did it go for would come up on the wheel. What I wanted to ask you about was the piece of art from Bean, the Ultimate Disaster movie. I don't know if you've seen that. Have you seen that movie, Annie?
Not for a long time.
Give it another watch. It's one of the most underrated comedies, I think, genuinely, of all time. I think it's like, Bean, the Ultimate Disaster movie is just sublime. Probably my top 20 movies.
Top 20 Bean films.
Top 20 of all the Bean films, it's in there, yeah. And in that film, Bean destroys the painting Whistler's mother, and he sort of doodles a face in the place of Whistler's mother's face. And I thought, I wonder if they auctioned off that painting.
Oh, the adapted.
Yeah, I
adapted
thought
ones.
that would be like a really good
Right.
prop to own, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I couldn't find anything. What I did find is you can actually buy that as a print to have it on your wall, which is quite fun.
Ah.
So I thought, I don't want that in my bedroom, but if I had like a bigger house with a fun room, I might have it in there in the future.
Yeah, sure.
So if I move into a house with a fun room, guys, you know what to get me.
Purely Bean memorabilia.
Yes, please.
What else would be in the fun room?
Well, other Bean things,
It's
yeah.
a good question.
Bean's,
actually.
Right.
Bean's teddy, maybe the door off Bean's car, and maybe
Zig and Zag.
Oh, Zig and Zag can come. Yeah, 100%. Any kind of puppet, Otis the Aardvark I might get.
Yeah, Blobby. More
Blobbies.
eggs from Fully Booked.
All the sort of puppets, yeah, the little.
But not the white bird.
It
Go
sounds
for-
like just quite a creepy sort of
Yeah,
antiques
it
and
doesn't
memorabilia
sound very
room.
fun to me anymore.
Yeah, welcome to my fun room, guys.
I thought it'd
don't
be
like
like
the
a
name.
bouncy castle and a water flume and
Or like
I mean, that's
a tap that
ambitious.
did Coca-Cola or something like that.
Oh, I could have one of them, yeah. I'd have a tab that purely served Coca-Cola.
trampoline.
Oh, yeah, why not?
I'm not seeing it as big as you're seeing it, Annie, but I mean, I love your
You've
ambition.
gotta think bigger.
big.
Yeah.
Think bigger than some old puppets.
I'm thinking it's like the small bedroom in a normal size house.
No, but you said you're in a big house with a
No,
fun
I mean-
room.
I'm in a.
No, you actually did. You said if you were in a
Big
did you say
house.
bigger house.
Bigger.
Maybe I did say big, but in my mind, big was just a house of any
Yeah,
size.
fair enough.
That's not a tiny flat. But no, honestly, a trampoline's welcome if I can fit one in there. 100%.
Okay. I'll bear
Anywho,
that in mind.
yeah, when I move into my semi-detached. Now, so I couldn't find that. So what I went with in the end was it is Mr. Bean's suit, and it's the full costume that he wore.
Wow.
Let me just get some details here. That he wore in the 2007 movie Mr. Bean's Holiday. Now, for me, I love Bean. As I say, Bean, the Ultimate Disaster movie, fantastic. Mr. Bean's Holiday. I don't think I've ever watched it all the way through. I just didn't really. I could never really
I
get
saw it
into
in the
it.
cinema myself.
Did you like it? Was it all right?
No, it wasn't great.
No. So I don't know if that
No.
would devalue the suit a bit because it's not from the best of Bean's movies.
Yeah, but Rowan was still stuffed inside, weren't he?
Rowan was still stuffed inside that costume. It's absolutely true.
What
So-
year was it sold at auction?
So it was sold
We
at
know that.
auction.
It's a good point.
Question.
It was sold at
Good.
auction.
These are the questions you need to ask during this round. A lot of people don't, Annie. And it's a bloody good question to be
Well, I
fair.
want to know if it's like pre-recession or not.
Exactly, yeah.
It was just last year, 2020.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that
Oh,
changes
what
everything.
an odd year to sell that suit.
Yeah. Well,
Must have been a
someone-
charity auction. Am I right?
not that I can see here, no. I think it was just a private. It was on propstoreauction.com. Lot 515, Mr. Bean's Holiday, Mr. Bean's, brackets, Rowan Atkinson, of course, costume. The lot closed. And
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. God.
Propstore.com, did you say?
Don't tell her. Don't tell her. She'll look it up.
No, I'm not looking at it. You can see my hands. You can see my hands. I'm just thinking, like, originally when you said at auction, I was like, maybe it's going to be like one of the big auction houses like Christie's or Sotheby's, and it'll be like hundreds of thousands.
no, it's just propstoreauction.com.
But now that I know
Yeah.
it's propstoreauction.com and
it's-
I know that it's in the midst of a pandemic
Yeah.
It's for Planet Hollywood in Skegness.
and it's from a sort of lesser known film that didn't.
Yeah, it's not his finest, but it's Mr. Bean suit.
I'll tell you a bit more information if you
Yeah,
like.
sorry, go on.
This is from the listing. Mr. Bean's costume from Steve Benderleck. He directed it. Steve Benderleck's comedy, Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Ledge.
The accident-prone Mr. Bean wore his costume throughout the film, in which he won a holiday to Cannes in a local raffle and documented the eventful trip on his video camera. The costume comprises of a brown tweed jacket featuring beige leather elbow patches, a white cotton shirt, a red tie decorated with a blue embroidered dot pattern, and a pair of brown woolen trousers. The label in the shirt displays a faded B written in black marker. Signs of production use include light plucking on the tie's pattern and minor stains on the shirt, notably inside the neckline. So what could
Inside
that
the
be?
neck, so it's
Some
probably
kind
a
of
makeup.
some
innit?
makeup or
Makeup.
spillage or something that's proves that it's been used on screen.
It's probably
Yeah.
What's it
like
called?
foundation or whatever.
yeah.
Is it called that? Yeah.
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 Um,
Are you beanhead, Annie? If you've not seen Ultimate Disaster movie in a while, maybe not. But
I don't know that I would describe myself as a bean head per se. I've seen a bit of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Is it
Well,
is it a
when you were-
made to measure suit?
I would say so. I would assume it's been made to measure. It doesn't say that specifically. Well, I will say, a few Christmases ago, I thought I dressed up quite smart for Christmas Day. It was like a friend's Christmas, so we all got together, and I turned up in like a sort of tweed suit jacket and a red Christmassy tie and a white shirt, and I thought I looked pretty cool. If I do say so myself.
You were fulfilling a fantasy, weren't you?
Well, but the thing is, well, not really. I just thought.
Oh no, because
I wasn't. No, not at all. I just turned up dressed in what I thought was like a nice outfit, and then our friend Dom said, "Ryan, why have you come dressed as Mr. Bean?" And then I looked in the mirror and I was like, "Oh my god, I've come dressed as Mr. Bean."
Are you saying you bought the suit at auction?
Yeah, well,
How much did I pay at auction?
Yeah.
even in a way, even worse. I'd gone to a shop in town and just purchased the same items that Mr. Bean purchased when he went shopping, and worn them, thinking they looked nice.
Are we working as a team? I can't
So
remember.
you're not on this one, I'm afraid. So write down some answers maybe, or get them like locked in so you don't.
Yeah.
Are you looking for the answer in Great British Pounds?
It's a very good question. Do you know what? You're asking all the right questions for this feature, and it is in pounds because
we've had it in euros before.
We've had it in euros.
It's just a nightmare, with the exchange rates and where they go.
Yeah.
How can I ask another question? Do we know how much the value of his holiday that he won in the raffle was?
No, I've no idea.
I just wondered if there was like a link between the amount that's
Maybe. Well, I always think sometimes of like, because we've said it before when it's been a car or a house or something, and you go,
Yeah.
that's already going to be quite expensive because it's a house,
Thing
But,
is,
this is just a suit, to be fair.
Bean is massive.
Beans worldwide. Yeah.
So there might be you could be thinking that there's people all over the globe who might be like oil barons. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then you also have to think of who's logging on to propstore.com.
Good point.
It's true that, but I'm sure, oil barons who are like.
Well, you know what I mean.
after
Like,
no, it's a good. I'd love the idea of an oil
there
baron.
might be
strutting
a
around in
like
bean suit.
super wealthy guy there who
How much is what's the most each of you has paid for a suit? Because I feel like I'm at a disadvantage not really knowing how much suits cost.
I mean, personally, it would be like maximum £150 for all the bits, but that's like in Next or something.
Yeah,
and you're from the north, aren't you?
Lower than that. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I
that's
once
incredibly
spent
expensive, actually.
more money on the suit. I spent quite a bit of money on a nice suit once.
What are you talking, John?
400.
Okay.
It was half price.
Okay.
It's got to be a wind up.
Yeah, it's got to be a wind up on it.
No, but I
Is
believe
that
you,
Jack
to be fair.
Barry's voice?
No.
It sounded really. Whose voice is that?
Let's have a listen.
It's got to be a wind
Just
up.
sounded a bit like Jack Barry, doesn't it?
It does sound like Jack Barry.
I thought suddenly Jack had entered the room. That's got to be a wind-up.
It's a prank. Watch out, Beatles about. It's Jack in a little beard. And
No, that is the sound of an actor portraying Gary Glitter in the Channel 4 drama, The Execution of Gary Glitter. And it's at the moment just before, in this fantasy drama, this fictionalized drama where they bring back the death sentence and they hang Gary Glitter. And just before he's about to be hung, he says,
It's got to be a wind up.
This sounds so much like Jack Barry.
Jack Barry sounds like Paul Gadd.
Paul Gadd.
Not Paul Gadd. What's his name? Gary Glitter.
Poor God.
Paul Gadd, yeah.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I thought I'd said the comedian's name by accident.
You're thinking of Richard Gadd.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to write something down then.
I've got an answer, and I think I've got it bang on.
Sweet.
Hang on.
I've got it absolutely bang on. And I also think Annie has created a couple of foam hands that she holds up in front of the Zoom camera while her real hands are typing away. You know,
Like, what, Googling answers. Yes.
this is a really
I wish I had.
cool set of headphones you got there, though, Annie.
Are you doing it to, thank you, the nearest penny?
Can be.
Oh, wow,
yeah,
why
yeah.
not? Why not?
I'll tell you this if you want a clue. It's a very round number, So
Round.
That actually
Lots of zeros.
that backs up my point, my answer.
it's,
It
it ends in.
closer and closer.
Well, I won't say too much, but it ends in a 0. I'll give you that.
Okay, yeah, mine ends in a 0 as well. So
Right.
I'm
You
feeling
See
pretty
that?
confident.
At auctions where they like go, it's they're going 3 million, 3.5, 4 million. You're like, why does it have to be by
Yeah, 500 grand.
500,000? Do you know what I mean? It's like, well,
But I
do
suppose
less.
going from 3 million to 3 million, 3 million
I
and
don't know
£5
what
pounds.
auctions
3
you
million
can
and
do.
£10
Go like
3
50
million
please.
£20 3 million 25.
3 million and 50.
So
It would probably take quite some time.
I guess they're going like, what can we get? Because I suppose the thing is when they'll go 3 million and 5, and then if no one says I do, they'll stop coming down a bit. You know.
I don't think that's where you say I do. I think
Is it
you're
not?
getting confused with your ceremonies.
Do you take this item to be your lawful? Now, okay. So we've all written down answers. Is that
I've
right?
got
Yes.
Yeah.
Locked in. Okay. Annie, as our guest today, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I was really unsure about this because I think a standard suit you could pay up to £1,000 for. And I think it's going to be more than that, given that it's a celebrity purchase. But then I'm thinking propstore.com. Like, who's buying stuff on there in a pandemic?
I think you're being pretty harsh on this website, actually, Annie, if I'm being honest. You've been pretty harsh on this website.
Sorry, do you guys have shares with propstores.com? Okay, I've gone with £4,000.
£4,000. Okay.
There's proof that that's what I wrote down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that does end in a 0, so we'll
True.
perhaps.
I just can't imagine a world in which anyone would pay more than that for a worn
That's
suit
fair.
that's
Fair enough.
stained.
It's true.
Fanatics.
Stained as well. Yeah. I feel like the stain, obviously, I mean, sort of adds value maybe. But I was hoping it was going to be more of a.
You bought it,
DNA.
didn't you?
DNA. Rowan Atkinson's Mr. Bean's DNA.
Okay. So, Matthew, what do you think?
Well, I am actually going to double that, and I'm doubling it. £8,000 £8,000.
8,000, you say? And John Patrick, what do you think?
I put 3,500.
3,500.
Did you just write that down now?
No.
Oh, he blatantly did.
I promise you I
He
would
did.
not do that.
Show us the paper and where your finger
We'll
was.
see how wet the ink is. Look, it's still drying.
Lift it up. Lift it up.
That ink.
What is that?
It's a little picture of a frog, man.
Oh, how do you put 500 and you put a 3 in front?
No?
John put £35, didn't he? And he changed it last minute.
Or he's put £3 and he's changed it to $3,500.
Yeah. Okay,
Honestly, I
3,500.
would not.
Well, listen. It doesn't matter anyway yet, does it? Because we don't know who's the closest.
I've gone too high.
Now, I can tell you
I
that
think it's
one
going
of
to be
you,
really low.
as Matthew Skillington once said, is closer than the others. I can tell you, it was estimated to sell. This isn't the answer. It was estimated to sell for 1,500 to 2,500. It sold for at auction on propstoreauction.com, believe it or not, for £7,000. So Matt, you're only £1,000 out. You were closest. Congratulations.
It's unfair
God.
that as I bought it, but
Yeah.
no, I'll take that.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
congrats.
That's good.
£7,000.
£7,000, so a
£7
good bit of
grand.
commission for old propstore.com. That'll have paid
Like
for
you say.
the website, sort of fees, Squarespace fees for the year.
Bean is worldwide.
Bean is worldwide, yeah. I don't know who bought it. I'd love to know. Maybe
Go
we
on,
can get him as a
Ryan,
guest
try
on
it
the
on.
podcast.
Show us all the suit. Absolutely no idea who bought that, but good purchase. And I think the stain adds value, actually.
Doesn't matter what my dad said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when my mum watched it, I was very angry.
Yeah, I want a bigger house with a fun room, but I can't because I've got Mr. Bean's suit.
Yeah, I would have had my fun room by now if I hadn't bought the suit. But the thing is, it's catch-22 because I want the room to put the suit in. So
Yeah.
Ryan, I'm presuming we don't have time for another spin.
No, I mean,
of
I
the
think-
wheel.
I think Annie's got to go, but also we have been going for a long time now. It's been a long old episode. We don't have time. I think there's only time for a quick game, a very, very quick game of Who's at the Door.
Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? It's a mystery.
So, Annie, if you've not played this game before, it's quite simple, really. You just have to guess who is at my door. Who's at the door this week?
Is it a giraffe?
Oh, well, I mean, it's a game, so you shouldn't tell us what you're thinking, really.
Okay, who's at the door this week? Annie has gone with
Well, I didn't really know the format of the game. I didn't know that was me.
I'm not allowed to explain it to you, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'll go with the giraffe.
We're too much of a rush. And he says there's a giraffe at the door. Great guess. It would make sense. So John Patrick, who's at the door this week, buddy?
I think it's Pingu.
Pingu, another fantastic guess.
The
and
flapping.
good old-fashioned Ryan Howes, who's at the door this week?
Yeah, I thought it was some kind of flapping going on. I sort of Donald Duck, maybe?
Very close, Ryan, very close. It was actually Bob Ross.
Because he was
because he's a painter.
Yes.
doing the
Slapping
brush
paint
thing.
on.
It was Bob Ross. We've had a very arty theme this
Yeah.
week.
Did you
and
invite
it's-
him in?
I'd love
He
to.
can't come in.
He can't come in.
Yeah,
You can only
COVID
come in if you get it right.
restrictions. Oh,
And
right,
well,
I see.
that as well. But you have to get it right, and then he'll come in and talk to me. I'm
That's the
afraid.
game. That's sad.
But
Now
listen,
I've worked out what the game is. Now that it's ended.
I wouldn't worry. There's no real prizes to be had, but there is a point. Unfortunately, it was lost. Annie, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been
Thank you for having me. It's been
Thank you
fun.
very much.
It's been great.
It's been a hell of a lot of chuckles, and yes. So, John Patrick, thank you as always for coming on the show today.
It's been wonderful. Thanks, everybody.
And it's been a pleasure to see good old-fashioned Ryan Howes once again in the flesh and on the audio. I say flesh. I can see an
Digital
image of
flesh.
your flesh.
Yeah,
Digital flesh.
yeah.
Digital flesh.
Thank you, MaxKillington.com, the brand. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I will leave you with this today, which was sent in by hello.antonio design. And it's a sign-off that is sent in. And it goes a little something like this. On the plains of Africa, they've got plenty of cheetahs, but the coolest cats of all are on terrible features. Good night.
Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Good
Annie,
night.
can you do Craig, Charles, good night.
Good night.
Oh, that's good.
Brilliant. That
was
was
good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was really fun.
Podcast looping nuts are we, making podcasts all for free. But if you'd like to help us too, then this is what you ought to do. On the website Patreon, follow by a.com.
/ is the next bit.
They seldom differ, and that's it. Podcast looping nuts are we, making podcasts all for free. But if you'd like to help us too, then this is what you ought to do. Sign up to us and then pay us £1, £3, £5 or £10.
Bonus podcast worth the fuss.
Appreciated by us. And if you can't commit, don't worry about that, don't mention it.
Because you can pay us just one time.
Using PayPal.
And that's fine.
You have been listening to Seldom Differ's Terrible Features with Matt Skillington, John Patrick and Ryan Howes. Intro and outro theme by Old. You can follow them at Old Music on Instagram. If you want to follow the boys at Seldom Differ, you can get them at Twitter at Seldom Differ, Instagram Seldom_Differ, and Facebook at Seldom Differ Comedy. You should also subscribe at Seldom Differ on YouTube. Thank you to Luke Collins at Appley Bridge Studio for his additional audio work. And thank you to all you Patreon subscribers. If you're interested in supporting us, then go to patreon.com/Seldom Differ. And there you can donate as little as £1 a month, that's 25p an episode, that's not too bad, to £3 plus a month, which will allow you access to all of our bonus material. Please do give us a 5-star rating and a review. We'd be unbelievably grateful. Thanks for listening.